Alexa, volume 4. Yo, what's up, bud? We're getting ready to. I'm gonna be doing a reading here. Gonna be reading this book. So I want to get my stickers up here. There we go. All right, guys. We're gonna start reading. All right, we've got The Universe is Calling You by Shar Margolis. I haven't read this book at all, so I am going to. We're all going to experience this together. So, let's start. Who am I? Why was I born? What is my reason for living? Why do the people I love have to die, and will I see them again? Why do I have to die, and what will happen when I do? In this world, all there is this world all there is, or is there something more? Why is there so much sorrow and evil in the world? Is God really there? As a psychic intuitive medium for more than 45 years, I have heard questions like these from thousands of people, clients, friends, family members, audiences of my TV shows, the people who attend book signings or who I might meet on the street. And I have asked these questions myself, especially in times of grief and emotional distress. I too have felt the enormous pain of losing loved ones, and the guilt and remorse and regret for the things done and not done. And, like most people, there have been times that I have questioned the wisdom of a God that would allow famine, genocide, and suffering in the world. However, the one thing I do not question, indeed, the thing I know with absolute certainty, is that we continue to live beyond the short time we spend on earth in any given lifetime. Our souls exist before we are born. Our spirits do not die when our bodies stop working. I know this because my life's work is to connect people on earth with the spirits of their departed loved ones. It is enormously rewarding. I have watched joy and amazement appear on the faces of fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, grandchildren, spouses, or best friends as they hear messages through me that can only come from the people who have passed over to the other side. I have witnessed the healing and consolation they feel when they know their loved ones are still there, still caring, still communicating, and still connected to them despite their great loss for their death. I saw this happen on one of my Dutch television shows. Tom's wife, Mariska, had died 2 years earlier, and he was still heartbroken. I went to his apartment in Amsterdam to give him a reading. Now, when I read for people, I usually pick up on the letters of the names of their loved ones, both living and deceased. It's my way of tuning into the unique energy each spirit possesses. Within a minute or two, I pick up the name of Tom's father, who was living, and then Maria, his wife's mother. Maria is with Mariska and helping her to come through, I said. Now Mariska is showing me something around your neck. What is it? Tom pulled out a pendant from under his shirt and said it contains her ashes. She knows that you wear it. She's also telling me about a colleague of yours that plays music. Are you a musician too? I'm reading The Universe is Calling You. Hey, everybody. Tom sighed. I was, but I stopped after she died. It was clear he was still in a great deal of pain. I know that a part of you stopped living when she died, but it makes her sad to think that you're still not playing music. She said that you're brilliant and gifted and talented, and if you were to start being creative again, it would bring her closer to you. She says that there's music you need to write. I wrote something and performed it, but not recently, Tom admitted. Now she's showing me something about the heart. I tapped the upper part of my chest. Did you two have a sign about the heart? Tom thought for a moment. Then he nodded. I had a special tattoo done for her. It's her family initials. How could you know that? And he pulled at his shirt to show me the tattoo on the same location where I tapped on my own chest. But Mariska wasn't done. When you cremated her, you put something on her heart or in her pocket, and nobody knows about it but you, I asked. Tom looked amazed. I put a photo in with her right above her heart. I did that at the cremation place. Nobody saw me. She's saying, if you want proof that I'm still with you, your picture is on my heart and nobody knows it. Then I smiled and told Tom, and she's saying that if you don't get your butt in gear and start writing music, she's going to be very mad. The connection we feel with our loved ones is one of the strongest forces in the universe. For most of us, it is a fundamental part of our lives. And well, it should be, because love never dies. This reading brought Tom a great comfort because he knew that his beloved wife was still with him, still connected to him and watching over him. And she would be waiting for him when it was his time to pass over. It also provided him a cosmic kick to help him reconnect to life and make the most out of his time here on Earth. And there is a quote here. Only with the heart can a person see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I believe that part of my mission on earth is to give people proof that even after death, their beloved ones are still within them, so they can know that this life is not all there is, and that we all will continue to live and love for eternity. For more than 45 years, I have been teaching my students, life is a school. Cherish your loved ones every day. Live in such a way that you will have no regrets. You are part of something far greater than yourself. And you can tap into the universal energy of goodness, wisdom, and love, and use its guidance to prevent problems and guide your life. However, the core of my work goes beyond connecting people with departed loved ones, or even proving that there is life after death. The central part of my mission is to teach people how to develop their own intuition, their own inner wisdom, their innate sense inside of each one of us that is connected to everything, including the spirits of our departed loved ones. But equally important, my goal is to help people become aware of the universal wisdom, goodness, and love that unite everyone and everything. That universal goodness is where we come from when we are born, and when we return, when we pass over, and where we return when we pass over to the other side. And there's another quote. Hey, everybody. Before you were born, you lived. We are luminous beings. We are perceivers. We are an awareness. Don Juan, shaman. I like that. Don Juan. We all start life as a part of something other than ourselves. Our physical bodies are made from the genetic material of our parents. We are part of our mother biologically for 9 months until we are separated physically at birth. But where does our animating spirit come from? When do we become the separate I consciousness of Shar or Tom or Mariska or you? And if that I consciousness is who we are during our lifetime, what happens to it when the physical body dies? There are questions that scientists and philosophers have wrestled with for centuries, and I'm not going to pretend that I know the answers. Indeed, any answer created by an incarnate human being is inevitably born of our human and limited experience and understanding. Hey, what's up, AT? But I do know that there is a greater truth than any one of us can put into words. A truth that each of us knows intuitively and innately. We are part of something far bigger than ourselves. What's up, buddy? Thank you for joining. Just reading out of the book. We're all on an eternal journey, and each individual lifetime is only a temporary stage in our progress. Before we were born, we lived. After we die, our spirits continue to learn and grow. Who we are when we are born, who we choose as our family. Yes, we do choose our family and our parent situation. And what we do with our lives, we're all part of something greater than our own individual experience in one particular lifetime. Hold on. Oh, Grace, I was just going to invite you, Grace. I put you in as a moderator too, by the way. Whoa, I don't know what's going on, y'all.
What happened? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let me go.
Continue playing. Uh-oh. Alexa, volume down. Okay, let's get back to the book because I want to stay on task here. I believe that each of us has always existed and will always continue to exist. Alexa, volume down. It was a little loud. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, Grace, I got my both hands on the book here. I believe that each one of us has always existed and will always continue to exist because we are a part of God. God was, is, and always will be. But divine energy is dynamic, not static. It creates the universe from itself, watches as it grows and expands, and then disappears to reappear in a new form. God is ever evolving, ever changing, yet always present. As part of this divine energy, we too grow and evolve. I believe that each of us starts off at the right hand of God, and we incarnate so that we can learn lessons and grow from our experiences on earth. As many spiritual masters tell us, we are pure beings that become human for a while. During those incarnations, we have free will and choice. We go through temptations and tests. We may take actions that can turn us to evil and others that can turn us to good. In every incarnation, our goal is to learn and grow so much that we may get back to where we began, at the right hand of God, the ultimate in goodness and love, and whose goodness and love is expanded by our efforts. This eternal cycle of growth is our purpose and our nature, because it is the nature of the divine to continually evolve into greater, even greater perfection. In the realm of eternity, each of us has a soul, an energetic being that records and benefits from the lessons and experiences of all times on earth. The soul's reasons for existence is to learn and grow in goodness, wisdom, and love. But while souls make progress in the eternal realm, the greatest progress happens here on earth. That's why we are born and live many lives. Earth is our school, and here is where we will learn our most important lessons. When our souls choose to come to earth and be born, we become what I call a spirit. Each spirit has a unique energy thumbprint based upon its experience in each lifetime. That unique energy is what we sense when someone we love walks into a room, and without seeing or hearing them, we know who it is. We keep our energy thumbprint even after we die. In fact, that is what I pick up on when I sense the presence of a departed loved one on the other side. At the same time, part of us stays with the soul in the spirit world even when we incarnate here on earth. I think of it kind of like dreaming. When we dream, part of us is in the dream and fully experiencing it. For the part of us in the dream, it seems real. Yet, at the same time, there is also part of us lying on a bed, sleeping, seemingly unconscious of our surroundings unless something wakes us up. Two parts of the same being, two parts of our consciousness, coexisting in the same moment, connected yet unaware of the connection. That's how I view the eternal connection between the incarnated spirit and the eternal soul. We are born as many different spirits in many different forms: men, women, beasts of all shapes, sizes, and colors, and abilities. In these forms, we are confronted with all the lessons that life has to give us: love, betrayal, temptation, guilt, making right choices, and so on. In each lifetime, we also have glimpses that remind us that we are not bodies with spirits, but spirits with bodies. When the body dies, the spirit returns to its eternal form as intelligent energy. Think of your spirit as a snowflake. Each snowflake is unique, formed by water vapor in the atmosphere that freezes and then takes solid form. The snowflake falls to earth, where it melts and turns back into water. Eventually, the water evaporates, rises to the clouds, and the cycle begins again. Like that snowflake, your soul takes a unique and beautiful spirit form so it might come to earth. When you die, your spirit returns to its original state and rejoins the soul on the other side. But that doesn't mean our spirits lose their unique energy or stop being connected to our loved ones. Flipping the page. Oh shoot, I'm tearing things up over here. Can't mess up the new studio. Look at the, hold on, let me see. Can I adjust that? Oh, no. Sorry, guys. Oh, my hair is all funky looking. Grace, you're supposed to have my back here. You're supposed to say, fix your hair, James. You look a mess. All right. Back to reading. Let me get some of my water. Right? Perrier is supposed to have my back over here. Dr. Jazz, hey, how you doing? All right, I'm gonna take a break real quick. Dr. Barry, I made a video and I didn't put it up. But I went to Dade City today and I grabbed some tacos and I made a little video and I didn't post it yet, but we got to go get some tacos. Anyways, back to the reading. Even after death, each spirit continues to care about friends and family here on earth and those who have already passed over. Love never dies, and our spirits are part of an immense web of love that crosses the barrier of death and continues from lifetime to lifetime. That web of love and connection is why we can sense the presence of our loved ones even after they're gone. It's why people who are dying often see their loved ones waiting for them with open arms. The ongoing connection is the reason we have soulmates, people whom we love lifetime after lifetime. That web of love enables me and you to tune into spirits on the other side and give their messages to their loved ones on earth. When we pass over, in the moment of our death, our life flashes before our eyes. We see our thoughts and deeds through the eyes of truth and goodness. In life, people may go into denial, but in the afterlife, we cannot ignore the truth. We see what we have learned as well as the lessons we have failed to learn. Our spirit then rejoins our soul, which adds the experiences from this lifetime to the memories of all the past lifetimes we have gone through over the ages. Each lifetime is an opportunity either to move higher or to create karma that must be cleared before the soul can progress. If we learn our lessons well and we grow in goodness, wisdom, and love, our soul becomes more and more refined. It vibrates at a higher level. Souls that vibrate at higher levels may become guardian angels, or they may choose to come back as great beings that inspire us with their examples. If our soul has not learned all its lessons, or has more growing to do, it has to go back to school, Earth. It reincarnates as a spirit again. If while on Earth a spirit chooses to cause deliberate harm or to do evil in some way, that energy too is added to our soul, which then vibrates at a lower level and must reincarnate to make amends in some way. It's called the law of karma. What you sow in one lifetime, you will reap in the next. Only when the past karma of evil deeds is atoned for can your soul continue to progress. Here's another quote. The soul is timeless, a spiritual part of all creation. It is formed from the loving energy that creates us all. Howard F. Batty. If the goal of the spirit is to learn and grow in each lifetime, and if the goal of the soul is to incorporate the wisdom of each spirit's experience and use it to grow in goodness, wisdom, and love, what happens when the soul is completely filled with these energies? I believe that the ultimate destination of our soul's progress is the truth of who we really are. We are the manifestations of intelligent, loving energy that composes the universe. We are all part of that universal consciousness, an interconnected energy that creates reality in every moment. This energy contains good and bad, great and small, the universe itself and every manifestation present within it. It existed before time and will exist after time ends. This energy goes by many names. Chi in Chinese, Prana in Indian, Mana in Polynesian, Ni, Native American, Num, African, vital fluid, the field of infinite possibilities, the quantum soup, the life force, morphic energy, so on and so forth. But it is universal conscious energy. It is both intelligent and beneficent. It is both what we are made of and also a force that wants the best of us. Religious leaders and philosophers have personalized this energy, calling it God, Yahweh, being, the Tao, Atman, Allah, universal consciousness, the light of the divine, oneness, the oversoul, and 1,000 other terms that cannot begin to describe it. I have come to call this universal, loving goodness essence, because it is the force that lies at the core of every being, every experience, every leaf, star, atom, and galaxy. It is also the essential truth of who we are. It says essence is essential. Something there is in every drop of water, every grain of sand, which it is beyond the power of human understanding to fathom or comprehend. George Berkeley, Irish bishop and philosopher. The root of the word essence comes from the Latin word esse, which means to be. The definition of essence is the basic, real, and invariable nature of a thing or its significant individual feature or features, the most important part or quality. Philosophy says that essence is the inward nature, true substance, or constitution of anything, as opposed to what is accidental, phenomenal, illusory, etc. Grace, it is Char Margolis. Sorry, my camera's on the mirror thing, so Char Margolis. Are you guys liking this? Is this cool? Can I keep on going, or do you want me to be like crazy James, just talking to you guys? I'm kind of liking reading. I've never read the book, so I've never read it, so it's like this is a good run through. Essence is essential. It is the component that makes something what it is, and without which that thing would be different. I use the term essence to describe the fundamental, living, intelligent, loving energy that makes up the entire universe and everything beyond it. The same love, the same divine energy, the same wisdom that can power the atoms and speak to us from beyond the grave is who we truly are. No name can capture it, because this energy transcends any word or concepts that can be created by our own limited human minds. For centuries, poets and philosophers of every great religious and spiritual tradition have tried to describe this living and intelligent essence. In Psalm 111, David says the Lord is honorable, glorious, righteous, gracious, and full of compassion. John 1:9 describes essence as the light that gives light to every man. Thank you, Grace. The Bhagavad Gita says essence is the taste of water, the light of the sun and moon, the sound in ether and ability in man, the original fragrance of the earth, the heat and fire, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the strength of the strong, an energy in everything and yet independent. The Tao Te Ching describes the Tao as the mother of all things. Zen Buddhists call essence the state of absolute being, undivided, eternal, and holy. On the very first page of the Quran, Allah, which naturally means the divine, is said to be benevolent and merciful. Allah creates and maintains all things and brings them to a state of perfection. Both your soul and your spirit are made of this essential energy. You are simply a part of essence that has chosen to become a human being in this point of space and time. Remember the snowflake, beautiful and unique, forming in a cloud, drifting to earth, and then becoming water, then vapor, and descending once more into the clouds. The snowflake's essence is always the same, water. Each time we incarnate as human beings, we take form and come to earth for a certain amount of time to live and love and learn our lessons. After a while, our physical form disappears and we transform back into our original essential energy. No matter what form we take, our essence remains the same. Here's another quote. At the heart of each of us, whatever our imperfections, there exists a silent pulse of perfect rhythm, which is absolutely individual and unique, and yet which connects us to everything. George Leonard. Our essence is always there, even when we're not aware of it, because it's all around us. Sorry, I'm getting out of the camera here. We're like the little fish that spent its entire life happily swimming in a cove next to the beach. And one day it heard one of the other fish speaking of something it called the ocean. It's the biggest thing you've ever seen, the other fish said. You can't imagine how huge and wonderful it is. The little fish was fascinated. Nothing would do, but it had to go in search of the ocean. It swam out of its cove and far out of into the ocean's waters, where it encountered a wise old fish. Excuse me, but can you tell me how to find the ocean? The little fish asked. You're in it right now. It's all around you, the other fish replied. But this is just water, the little fish said, disappointed. I'm looking for the ocean, which is the biggest thing anyone could imagine. And it swam off in an endless search for this place where it already was. Some spiritual masters and traditions tell us that we must seek long and hard, meditate for hours, fast for days, or give up our material possessions to discover our essence. In fact, you're experiencing it in every moment. You simply may never have used the term essence to describe it. Like the little fish, you are swimming in the ocean of essence, but you aren't aware of exactly where you are. But connecting to essence can be as simple as closing your eyes and focusing on its presence within. So there's a little note in here. So I'm going to read the note. It says, connecting to essence. Close your eyes for a moment and focus on your breath as it comes in and out. You don't have to do anything to earn the right to breathe. It's natural. As you focus on your breath, notice the subtle energy in your body. There's a sense of aliveness that includes your conscious mind, yet it's bigger than just your thoughts or your body. That subtle energy is essence. If you don't feel it, relax. It's always there, and it never changes. Because who you are, because it's really who you are. Eventually, your mind will allow you to feel your essence. That's intense. Hold on, guys. I gotta share this to somebody. Sorry, guys. All right. The universe is calling to me. We got 11 folks. Wow, you got me. What page was that passage on? This is on page 13. Doctor. Okay, let's get back to it. There we go. Look, I got the universe going back here and all that fun stuff. Okay. Back to the book. Friends with Fairies, I'm reading a book. It's pretty good so far. What are you guys thinking about it? Do we get thumbs up on the book? This was the first book I chose. I just walked in to a library, a personal friend's library, and just grabbed it right off the first book I grabbed. I just whip. Pretty good choice. Connecting to essence can happen when we listen to the voice inside us that tells us what choice will be our highest and best. It can happen when we walk out of our front door and appreciate the miracles of nature. It can happen when we see the smile of a baby, hear the voice of a loved one, or feel the hug of a friend. We connect with essence anytime we recognize that we are not alone, that we are part of something greater than ourselves. And who we are will survive the death of the physical body as our spirits step gently from this world into the next. When we connect with essence, we remember that while there is good and evil in the world, we are here to choose the good. Every time we choose good over evil, we strengthen the presence of essence in our lives. When we feel it, our lives are happier and more complete. In moments when our emotions are heightened, it can feel as if we move toward a greater awareness of essence. When a mother holds her child in her arms for the first time, when a family and loved ones gather for a dying person's last moments, when we look into the eyes of our soulmate. In times of great tragedy, like terrorist attack in New York, Washington, London, we can feel essence upholding and strengthening us. In times of celebration, we can sense a happiness that is beyond the personal and connects us to something deeper. There are moments in life where we rely on God's will, and we can feel truth and pureness radiating from within and outside of ourselves. In all of these experiences, essence shines forth, and we are simply willing to acknowledge its presence. Rabbi Erwin Kula says that at these times, the only way to describe our emotions is with the expressions, "Oh my God!" An instant recognition of the presence of essence. With each instance, our perception of essence is clearer, and we will feel its love and support in our lives in every possible circumstance. Essence is joy, bliss, connectedness to everything. Essence is like the air you breathe, always present, rarely noticed, but essential for life. Letting your true nature shine forth. Gotta take a water break. In the same way that we can keep an intimate relationship fresh and alive by focusing on the love we share with a partner, acknowledging the gift of our partner is in our life, and appreciating the little ways our partner makes us feel loved, we can nurture our relationship with essence by paying attention to it, by focusing on the gifts it brings to us, and by looking for the ways that it appears in every moment. However, when we are faced with tragic loss that we can't understand, we can feel cut off from essence. I once read for a young mother who had gone through one of the most difficult experiences any parent could face. She had accidentally left her baby son Chris in the back seat of the family car. It was hot. You know, the podcast guy in me wants to comment, but I'm just going to keep reading. It was a hot day and the little boy passed before she returned. When I visited her several months later, it was clear that she was still heartbroken, racked with guilt, and remorseful. As compassionately as I could, I told her, "You can't put yourself through this torture. This was an accident, completely unintentional, and your son knows that. His spirit is around you, and if he sees Mama sad all the time, he won't understand it. He's so little that he didn't know he passed over. He's just playing in heaven, and he's with your family on the other side." For a moment, the mother looked as if she felt better, but then she started to cry. "Why didn't someone see him?" she asked in despair. "No one stopped. No one looked in the car the entire time I was gone. No one called me from daycare to ask where he was. Why didn't my intuition warn me? Why wasn't a guardian angel watching over my little boy?" Her husband took her hand and tried to console her, but it was clear that his heart was close to breaking too. "Maybe a guardian angel was watching over him," I answered, trying not to cry myself. "Maybe God needed Chris more than you did, and his guardian angel took him straight to heaven. Sometimes children who go to heaven young are here to share their love with us for just a short time and then move on. This was just a really sad mistake, but you need to forgive yourself." The mom looked doubtful, but her baby spirit was speaking clearly through me. "Chris is still with you," I reassured her. "He's happy and loving and being taken care of on the other side. And I hope you will come to feel the peace he's letting me feel right now." Something of Chris's spirit must have been speaking silently to his parents, because I could see their energy getting lighter. My work of connecting people like these grieving parents with their departed loved ones can bring consolation and closure. It can also give people in pain the confidence that those they love and have lost are still alive and happy. But ultimately, the highest goal of a reading is to open people's hearts and minds to the essence of goodness, wisdom, and the love of which we are made of and in which we exist. How much better would you feel knowing that even in the most tragic circumstances, there was a conscious energy of goodness, wisdom, and love that was looking out for you and for those you love? Better yet, how would it be to be able to connect to those very same energies at any moment in time? Living in essence shows us how to deal with fear, with crisis, with catastrophe. When we are connected with our inner truth and divinity, we can face our fears and either overcome them or use them as the warnings they are. And while living in essence does not mean we are immune to the challenges of life, it does give us a rock upon which to stand as the waves of crisis and catastrophe wash against us. As Psalms 23 says, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." When we live in essence, we know that universal wisdom is always with us, present inside our hearts and our minds. The more we acknowledge it and seek to connect with it, the more we can manifest for us every day. Sometimes your essence will be like the sun breaking through the clouds. Sometimes it will completely take over the sky, and sometimes it will rest behind the horizon. But remember, your essence is the most constant part of you, or me, or us, and your spirit and your soul. Intuition and essence. Intuition is one of the primary ways we can connect directly with essence. Do you ever have a moment when your intuition pops up and you know without a doubt that this is the answer? In the same way, when we get a glimpse of essence, that same familiarity touches our entire being and reminds us of our true purpose for existence. Intuition is our direct pipeline to the all-knowing nature of essence. And when we use it to tune in, we can also sense the loving side of essence as well. And the more we use our intuition to connect with essence, the stronger and easier it becomes to hear the message. However, if you're trying too hard to connect, you can get in your own way. If you've ever tried to meditate, you know what I mean. Sitting down and thinking, I want to meditate. I want to meditate. Why am I still thinking? I want to meditate. It's the surest recipe for failure and frustration. In the same way, working too hard to be intuitive or to be aware of essence causes you to focus on the effort rather than the goal. Where the heck did I leave off? You don't have to work to be intuitive, and you don't have to work to be aware of essence any more than you have to work hard to just be. I tell my students who are studying to develop their intuition, if you have to work hard at this, you're doing it wrong. No, sorry, I got lost. Know you are intuitive. Do what you need to do to clear your mind and calm your body and emotions. Then ask your questions. Let go and trust. Often your intuition will give you the answer when you least expect it. The same is true of connecting with essence. Clear your mind, calm your body, and then turn your focus inside. Listen for the subtle energy that pulses through every cell in your body. That energy is essence, and it is always with you. I wrote this book to help deepen our understanding and connection with the loving, wise, and compassionate energy of goodness that is our true essence and the essence of all existence. Hello, what's up, D Money? I don't claim to be a guru or by the sense of a love greater than anything in the universe is holding. Greater than anything in the universe is holding you in the palm of his hand. Then you'll have an idea of what motivated me to write this book. In its pages, I hope you'll find truth that resonates with what you intuitively know inside, as well as ways to connect with essence in your daily life, in your spiritual journey, in your relationships, in nature, and in moments of great joy and sorrow. including moments of death. In the New Testament, the Apostle John wrote, "The truth will set you free." And I believe that when we understand the truth of our own essence and live consciously from that knowledge, we are free to live, love, give, and walk through this world in a greater happiness and fulfillment. Oop. Am I still frozen? I need you to give me a thumbs up if I'm frozen. Who am I gonna invite? Where is Grace? Grace, are you in here? Oh, I was gonna invite Grace to come talk with me. Anyway, back to the book. So there's a little section right here. Oh, sorry. Up there. I'm going to read it. It's your soul's energy boosters. Okay? Our soul exists before we are born, and our spirits do not die when our bodies stop working. Oh, okay. This is just like cliff notes for the chapter. So we're going to go on to chapter 2. Chapter 2. The qualities of essence. Me. Okay. The qualities of essence. He is the essence that inquires. He is the axis of the star. He is the sparkle of the spar. He is the heart of every creature. He is the meaning of each feature, and his mind is the sky. Then all it holds more deep, more high. Ralph Waldo Emerson. There's a story of a seeker who came to a master in search of. This is The Universe is Calling You by Shar Margolis. Excuse me. There's a story of a seeker who came to a master in search of essence. You are enlightened. You must know essence, the seeker said. Can you tell me what it is and how to recognize it? The master paused. How could he describe the indescribable? Then he'd said, describe the fragrance of a rose. The seeker was silent. Describing essence is like trying to talk about falling in love with someone who has never had the experience. When you were younger, you probably heard many songs that talked about love, and you just didn't get it. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you, Jaws, man. Thank you, guys. Wow, thank you so much. But the moment you fell in love, you knew exactly what you were experiencing. And all those songs and poems spoke directly to your heart. In the Hua Hu Xing, Lao Tzu wrote of the Tao, the only way to understand it is to directly experience it. There's a flicker of this experience available to you at any moment if you allow it to surface. After you have the experience, you will move from believing in the possibility of being part of this universal energy to knowing for sure that it exists. While the experience of essence is almost impossible to describe, it does possess qualities that help us recognize these moments when they occur. These qualities are like signposts that help us point to a fuller awareness of essence. And there's another quote. Essence is love. You are loved. If so, what else matters? That's pretty good stuff. That is by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Many people tell me, sure, I believe there's some sort of energy that makes up everything, but I can't believe that it's concerned about me in particular, or even humankind in general. It can be tough to wrap your mind around the idea that essence is everything and everyone, omnipresent and omnipotent in every cell and molecule of your body, and yet it is also intelligent, loving, and wise. But once you have a direct experience of essence, there's an incredibly personal feeling of an energy or presence that cares for you and about you. As poet Richard Garnett wrote, love is God's essence, power but his attribute. Therefore, in his love, is his love greater than his power? Essence is loving first and foremost. That's why I always say that it is your greatest friend. Sometimes I think it's easier to connect to this personal, loving essence outside of ourselves rather than inside. In the same way that many of us find it easier to love others and to appreciate their great qualities long before we love ourselves. I think one of the reasons there is love here on earth is so that we'll have a way of understanding and feeling essence in a personal way. When we feel love for others, eventually we'll recognize the love of which essence is composed. Connecting to the essence of a loved one. Hello, hello. Think of someone you love very much, whether he or she is living or on the other side. Close your eyes and call to them with all your heart and tell them, I love you, and really mean it. Let your love vibrate inside for a few moments and then notice how you feel. Can you sense the presence of the other person, even if they're not physically nearby? Can you feel that subtle energy of love inside yourself? Love and our loving thoughts keep us connected both to essence and to people on the other side. I saw a beautiful example of this when I read for Rob, a sweet, white-haired gentleman whom I met in a cemetery in Amsterdam. He was there to visit his parents' graves. He told me he brought fresh flowers every month. As soon as I spoke to Rob, I picked up on his father, Abraham, and his mother, Elizabeth. Most of the time, I'm apologizing in readings, either for the people here or the spirits on the other side. But your relationship with your parents was always good, happy, and loving. Your parents loved you completely, and you loved them completely. There was no stone left unturned in your relationship. Now, the spirits of your parents visit you at home, and they protect you and take good care of you. Rob beamed. I feel this. Yes, they're with me all the time. You're very happy, and they're very happy that you are their son. I said this to him as I took his hand. This man radiated goodness, love, peace, and happiness. Just being with him, I could tell that he was connected to essence and to his loved ones on the other side. I've also seen people who have been completely cut off from their essence or their departed loved ones. Some individuals don't believe in essence or life after death, and thus they ignore or discount any feelings they experience or messages they receive. Messages they receive. The universe is an accident, And even if we're all composed of energy, it's completely impersonal, they say. That light that went on and off was probably just a short circuit. Certainly, it had nothing to do with a spirit trying to communicate with me. I've tried to read for some of these people, and it's truly sad. I feel as if they're cut off from themselves, from others, and from the gifts and joys of this world and the next. It's like a story I heard of an unhappy monk who went to see the abbot of his monastery and asked, "Why is everyone here but me so happy?" "Because your brother monks have learned to see goodness and beauty everywhere," the abbot replied. "And why can't I see goodness and beauty?" the monk said frustratedly. "Because you don't see it within yourself," answered the abbot gently. Here's another quote. "Two men look out through the same bars. One sees the mud and one sees the stars." Frederick Langbridge. Other people feel so depressed or guilty or unhappy that their negative emotions completely block out any experience of the love of essence or people on the other side, or often people here on earth. I read for a family where the mother had passed away 10 years earlier and they were still grieving for her. The children and father all gathered around me, eager to hear their departed dear one. Within moments, I gave them the names of all the grandchildren in the family. "Your mom is really happy about her grandkids," I said. Then I gave them the name of the mother, Susanna. "She's telling me she appeared to your children a couple of times. Did one of them tell you Oma came to play with me?" The daughter gasped. "Yes, my daughter said she saw Oma in her room wearing a white dress." Susanna is watching over her grandchildren and helping you, but she's saying you've got to stop being upset about her death. I told them firmly, it's too hard on her in heaven. She tries to let you know that she's with you and she gives you signs, but you don't always listen. She wants all of you to be happy and know that she's an angel watching over you in heaven. It was as if the entire family sighed with relief. There were smiles and tears as they thanked me. There were smiles and tears as they thanked me for helping their mother speak to them. Susanna had tried very hard to make her presence known to her family, but their grief was getting in the way. That's why it's often easier for departed spirits to speak to children, because they have less emotional and psychological baggage that blocks communication. The energies of our loved ones can come through more clearly when our own negative, emotional, or psychological energy doesn't get in the way. The same is true of our awareness of essence. Focusing on our problems, grief, or traumas can prevent us from hearing the still, small voice of essence. That's one of the reasons I'm such a believer in getting psychological and emotional support and therapy. It's kind of like taking your car to the car wash after it's been through a major storm and it's covered with mud and debris from your trip. You can't move forward until you clean the windows, and you got to make sure there's no dirt in the engine. Once the car is cleaned inside and out, you can see the road ahead and resume your journey. In the same way, people may need to clear out their minds and their emotions through counseling, just so they can see the truth of their own divine natures. None of us are in this alone. We can seek out and accept the help that's available here on earth, the help to process our emotions and heal our wounded psyches, so we can pay attention to our essence and keep moving forward. Here's another quote. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Matthew 5:9. Howard K. Beatty once wrote, children, having spent more recent time on a spiritual level, remind adults of a timeless connection to the spiritual world and its love and wisdom. Babies are very close to essence. Their energy is innocent and uncluttered. That's why most of us respond emotionally when we're around them. Even when a baby is crying or fussing, our hearts go out to them and we want to help. A baby wants and needs our love, and it gives its own love purely and without conditions. It's the same with the young of almost every species. How do we respond when we see puppies or kittens? Even the young of ferocious animals like wolves, lions, or tigers can bring out feelings of love and protectiveness inside of us. Scientists may say that it's simply the biological imperative instincts for species survival that drives us to protect the young. But I believe it's something more. The quality of innocence and freshness that the young of any species possesses is a reflection of the same quality of essence. Is somebody requesting? Who's requesting? You wanna? Oh, Deborah D, you wanna come? Hey, I'm bringing you on. You're my guest. Hello. Hey, evening, great. How the heck are you?
No. Can I at least go comb my hair?
No, you don't have to come on the camera.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I just saw that there was a request down there.
I pushed it accidentally. I was making a bowl of ice cream.
Oh, okay. How's it sounding out there on the interwebs?
It's great.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. That's a really, really good book.
Yeah, it's my first time reading. Is the music too loud or not loud enough?
No, it's just right.
Just right. Cool. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kick you out because I hear that helps the algorithm.
It does.
So I'm going to kick you out and continue reading.
All right, sweetie.
And I'm going to do a talking session afterwards.
All righty.
Thank you. I love all of you watching. Thank you so much. This is first time we're in the new studio. So I'm in the studio. I gotta use this thing, right? I've put all this time into it. Okay, back to the book. Hold on. Let me the settings. There we go. Okay. We'll get in there. How's everybody doing? Okay. Essence is reborn. Oh wait. I did flip the page. Connecting to the essence in a baby. So this is like a little subsection in here. So I'm going to read through that. Imagine you're in a house, perhaps your own, perhaps the home of someone you know. You walk into one of the bedrooms and you see a crib with a baby inside, peacefully asleep. This baby is special to you in some way. It may be your child, or the child of a family member, or the child of a dearest friend. You walk over to the crib and you look down at the baby. You notice the baby's soft skin, its downy hair and chubby cheeks. You reach down and you touch its hand gently, and you feel its fingers curl around yours. You smell the sweet fragrance that only babies possess. The baby is breathing quietly, in and out. It's so innocent, peaceful, and happy. Say silently to that baby, "I love you," and really mean it. Can you feel that innocence and freshness of this new spirit? Feel it. Feel that feeling. Essence is reborn every minute. It predates time, yet is always new and fresh. It is also pure and uncluttered. A baby doesn't care if you have a lot of money in the bank, or you just left your latest relationship. Babies just simply exist to love and be loved. Its innocence and freshness makes us all feel new and young again. And when we see essence in a baby, we can feel essence in ourselves. Here's another quote. Great is truth and mighty above all things. 1 Esdras 4:41 from the Apocrypha. In Zen Buddhism, masters use koans, questions that would seem to have no logical answer, to get their students to think beyond the surface. The goal is for students to experience a flash of insight. Hey Lindsay, how you doing? Reading the book. The goal is for the students to experience a flash of insight, a glimpse of a deeper level of truth. In this moment, a student can attain enlightenment or a complete awareness of essence. While I am certainly no master of any kind, I have seen the same flash of insight in people during readings. And when they hear a piece of information that only a departed loved one would know being communicated through me, they know. Tom, whom you met in chapter 1, had a flash of insight when I told him about the picture he had placed on his wife's heart right before she was cremated. No one knew about that picture but him and his wife. I also saw that flash of insight when I read for a woman who had lost her mother several years earlier. The mother had wanted her daughter to have children, but she got sick before the daughter became pregnant. Nevertheless, the mother bought baby clothes for the child she intuitively knew her daughter would have. I picked up on all of this. And then I told the daughter, "Your mom is showing me a blanket. Did she make a blanket for your child?" The daughter looked at me in shock. "She made a blanket for my cousin's baby, and when I had my child, my cousin gave the blanket to me. No one knew that but my cousin and me." Thank you for that. My cousin. Later, she sent me a picture of the beautiful blanket her mother had made. With that detail and the other clear communications from her mom during the course of the reading, the daughter saw the truth of life beyond death. For the first time, she saw it, and she knew that her mother on the other side was celebrating the grandchild she had prepared with for such joy. Here's another quote. "The gift of truth is the highest gift. The taste of truth is the sweetest taste. The joy of truth is the greatest joy. The Dhammapada, the path of truth. That's where it's from. There are moments in our lives where we think and believe that something is true, and other moments when we simply know that we have heard or seen or are experiencing an essential truth. This is not the same as feeling of, I'm right and they're wrong. That's usually self-righteousness, and it comes not from essence, but from the ego's need to feed its sense of importance. The truth of essence is usually very humble yet clear. As the philosopher Blaise Pascal wrote, as we know the truth, not only by the reason, but also by the heart. Essential truth unites us rather than divides us. It shows us how we are all part of essence instead of separating us into good and bad, right and wrong, even enlightened and unenlightened. Like the experience of a student who sees the truth behind an unanswered question, truth unites us with itself in a flash, not just of understanding, but of knowing. In those moments, our doubts about the existence of essence or life after death completely disappear. We know and feel the truth of our own eternal nature. Little section quote here, essence is holy. A true love of God must begin with a delight in His holiness. That's from Jonathan Edwards, 17th century minister. Holiness does not mean Guruma, yes, we are all together. We can keep each other, absolutely. Holiness does not mean holier than thou, or feeling like someone else is better than we are. Holiness is simply an awareness of a deep and direct connection with something good and wise, something far greater than one's individual experience. How little people know who think that holiness is dull when one meets the real thing. It is irresistible, wrote C.S. Lewis. When we're around people who are holy, we often can tell simply by the way they make us feel. Great beings like the Buddha and Jesus, saints like Francis and Teresa, Zen masters like Bodhidharma. Wait, I'm going to mess this one up. Zen masters like Bodhidharma or Sufi saints like Rumi and Hafiz all had this quality. Just by being in their presence, people felt connected to essence. And reading about them and reading their words can help us connect to essence as well. There are many terms for this state of being one. There are many terms for the state of being one with essence. Some traditions call it enlightenment. Others call it awakened, or mindful, or oneness, or being with God. In the Jewish and Christian traditions, we call it holy. In this state, there is no sense of division between our small self and the big self, big self. We are connected completely to essence in every moment. Recognizing this place of peace is the ultimate secret of life. The irony is that all these great and holy masters are pointing us to the very simple truth that each of us is holy. Each of us is essence, and all we need to do is to become aware of this truth. There's a story of a sage who drew to herself thousands of seekers because of her clear and tangible connection with essence. She would shake her head and say it with a chuckle. All I do is sit by the bank of the river, selling river water. The river lies in each of us if we but knew enough to dip our cup into the holiness within. The other mistake that many of us make when we sense essence in someone else is to think that they have it and we don't. We try to turn our teachers into gods or gurus. We believe that somehow they are different from us or better than we are. As the sages say, we mistake the finger pointing at the moon for the moon itself. We turn our teachers into false idols because it's easier to worship them and think they've got it. And then we think they can intercede for us, rather than taking the awesome responsibility of recognizing that we ourselves are just as holy as they are. To quote Marianne Williamson, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be those things? We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. We each contain the holiness of essence, and we have the responsibility to live. I will, must be Godico messing with me again, Deborah. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm going to take note of everything that I just read and start to dip into that essence, and I'm gonna go jump on other people's lives and just try to spread some love and light. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm gonna do it and maybe I'll do it like twice a week or something. Working on my vocals. And yeah, I'm happy that I can bring some peace to TikTok in these times of craziness. So I love you all. Thank you so much. And I'll see you when I see you.